Good evening, SICW fans. Brian Whitaker here with promoter Herb Simmons, coming off a night to remember last night in East Carondelet. I mean, the matches don't get much better than what we saw last night.
Well, I got to tell you, Brian, the phone has been busy all day today. Text messages, emails from fans. Everybody is still buzzing about the great card at the East Carondelet Community Center last night. I mean, top to bottom, they said it was just phenomenal. It's just, I want to thank all the fans who came out, a capacity crowd, standing room only.
And anytime you can start a night with a championship match, end the night with a championship match, and have a championship match in the middle, it don't get much better than that.
It takes a lot of work.
Hey, but that's on you, not me.
I'll tell you, it takes a lot of people to do that. I can't say enough for the locker room. The talent that's in the SICW locker room is next to none. I've said it for years, but I'll tell you, after last night, those guys, every one of them was on their A game. I can't say enough for the fans. They turned out, all the regular fans, a lot of new faces. Andy
Absolutely.
Warner and I was talking this afternoon. I got to talk to him for a few minutes in between fielding a bunch of calls from the fans. That's kind of what I do the night after the shows. The fans call me and give me their 2 cents on how the night went. And today it's been extremely busy with just those type of calls. But as Andy and I said, a lot of new faces in the building last night. A lot of the regulars was there. And can't thank you enough for doing that, because that's what we've been doing for 46 years. Come February, it'd be 47. So it's been a long time.
Come 47, it will be 47.
Yeah. But I mean, what was your match of the night if you had to pick one?
I loved all the title matches, but I was really interested in your newcomer match last night. I got to see James Jeffries battle the Death Dealer. I think that was a very good technical wrestling match.
It was great. As I've told you, James, I've been trying to get into SICW for the last 2-3 years. Works a lot up in Des Moines, Iowa area, up in there with Troy Peterson and the group up there, Impact Pro Wrestling. But we finally got him here, him and the bigger guy called the Death Dealer, and I'll tell you what, James Jeffries became a crowd favorite right off the bat. Signed a lot of autographs afterwards, a lot of comments today about, hey, when's he coming back? So we'll see what his schedule is. He stays pretty busy up in that area, and we'll just, if we can get him back, we'll definitely get him back in SICW during the rest of the year. But to pick just one match, it was hard for me.
I think the place we need to start is the main event. The Classic Wrestling Championship on the line, Attila Khan versus Ricky Cruz, and to say it was a war is minimizing it.
Well, I think so, and for those of you who've been following SICW and following the King of Chaos, Ricky Cruz, and the Mongolian monster Attila Khan with the TCO backing, it's been going on for quite some time. These guys have battled all over the Midwest. I'm telling you, it's been wild, and I knew it was going to have to come to a head. But let's take a minute and show you how last night started, and then we'll come right back to you.
Ladies and gentlemen, your challenger from the mountains of Mongolia, Attila Khan. His opponent is your reigning defending SICW champion, the King of Chaos, Ricky Cruz.
with Brian, I wanted to show the fans, Ricky Cruz has been saying for the last couple of weeks, to him, it wasn't about that belt, the title being on the line. He was fed up with the Travis Cook organization and with Attila Khan. And he actually, you saw there, Attila Khan was waiting for the King of Chaos to come out from behind the curtain.
With a spike in his hand.
Something in his hand. And Ricky Cruz said, he's been telling me for the last 2 weeks, he said, boss, I'm coming to show them why I am the King of Chaos. And he came in from the side door, and that's what started there. And you've seen they were outside, and the match hadn't even started.
The referee had not called for the bell,
and the announcements hadn't even been made yet. So that's how that main event got started off. Now, I want to show you a little clip now at the end of that match, and I want to warn you.
Graphic.
It's graphic, and I apologize, but I think that just shows you the dislike that these two individuals have had for one another. So if you've got a weak stomach, just close your eyes real quick while we show you just a few moments of the end of this match. We'll be right back with you. Well, there you have it. The referee got knocked out. And I had some fans ask me today, well, why wasn't the disqualification take place earlier? And as we said, the match hadn't even started when that foreign object Cruz and them had outside the ring, or when they used the chair. That match, when Jay King, the referee, disqualified the Mongolian Monster, the match was already in play, and that's why he made the decision after everything that went on that he'd had enough, and that's why he disqualified Attila Khan. Of course, Travis Cook was upset about it.
And that fork or spike or whatever it was, that's what came back into play there.
Yes, so Travis Cook complained. He complained today. He sent me a message and wants to review the tape and all this. Well, that's not for him to do. Jay King made the right call there. Ricky Cruz is still the SICW Classic Wrestling Champion by disqualification. And again, a hard-fought war, as you said earlier, and that's putting it mildly, as you can see. And again, we apologize for the graphic contents there, but I just think it needed to show you that that's what happens when those two individuals who have had history together collided last night in East Carondelet. But we had another little clip we want to show.
Yeah, I would say that wasn't the end of it.
Well, we say we go from one show to another, and there's always somebody lurking around the corner. And I think what this shows you is that whoever has that belt, that title, has always got a bullseye on their back. Mm-hmm. And let's show you right now what we're talking about.
Winner and still Classic Wrestling Champion is Ricky.
Bullseye on Ricky Cruz again.
Well, and Curtis Wilde has been up to his shenanigans on Facebook, showed up twice at the Ace Wrestling Academy. He's demanding this championship match. We saw him last night. He was supposed to appear against Sid Holland, and and that didn't occur. He brought his bouncer in there and had Kowalski, and for some reason he's got Kowalski doing his dirty work here.
Well, and I put a post out this earlier today because that was one of the issues that a couple of the fans had texted me and said, why was it Curtis didn't match up with Sid Hollins? That's what was scheduled. And as I explained, and I posted on there, that I was in the back actually taking care of another issue. I did not know that it happened. The referee, why he allowed Kowalski to substitute in that match is something that we will be reviewing and find out why. Had I been out there, Curtis would have been in that match, or he'd have been DQ'd, and the Sid Holland would have been declared the winner. But I can't go back and redo that right now. But we will look into that and find out why the referee determined that Kowalski could substitute into that match. But you saw the attack right there, and the point I want to show you there is that Ricky Cruz, the champion, rightly so, always has to have eyes in the back of his head if possible, because guys like Curtis Wild and Kowalski will take every opportunity in the world to take you out of this business.
Yeah, and you know what? I almost think it's time that Curtis Wild gets in there, gets whooped up on, and then said, hey, you had your chance. And
well, I'm not sure where it's going to go. You know, that's something that the champion and I will be discussing, and we will see what's going to happen. Kowalski's the one to come in and bombarded him. I don't know if that might be a match when we return in September, but we'll be finding out here shortly in the next 24 to 48 hours, and we'll be letting all the fans know. So that was the main event. But
let's go to the semi-main event. You talk about a tag team match involving 3 former SICW champions and Gil Rogers, who can compete with the best of them.
Well, when you can put a tag match together with the caliber of those 4 men, Flash Flanagan, Gil Rogers on one side, and then whether you like him or not, King Christopher Hargis, and the Iron Man, the new Iron Man, as he wants to be known by.
What was it? The talented Ken Casa.
Ken Casa. 4 of the top men in professional wrestling in that ring at SICW. Doesn't get much better than that. So let's take a look at what that match got into.
10 minutes have expired. 10 minutes down.
Thank goodness for Gil Rogers coming back in there and cleaning out the ring, because, as you saw, they were going to handcuff Flash Flanagan to that rope.
I hate to say it, but I think it's still the bounty.
It's the bounty. You know, Travis Cook still has that bounty out there on Flash Flanagan and says it's going to stay out there until somebody in that locker room can put him out of business. And that's why I have to be careful when I get these calls from these wrestlers from around the country saying, hey, we want to come to SICW. You know, we want to come to where all the action is. I got to kind of screen them, because I don't know if this is somebody that Travis has got coming in. Everybody, you know, I said the target is always on the champion, but the target right now, because that $1,000 bounty out there is on Flash Flanagan. So there's a lot of integral parts being worked there. So we're going to work around that the best we can. that match there, like I said, four of the top talents in the Midwest. Nowhere else you're going to find that than at SICW.
Absolutely not. And that wasn't it. You had many more great tag team matches last night. For the first time in 46 years, you crowned SICW tag team champions.
Well, and that's you're right. That's a discussion. A good friend of mine, Roger Dean, who was one of the greatest photographers at the Kiel Auditorium. We hit back and forth on Facebook a little bit today. Tag team titles in St. Louis at Wrestling at the Chase was not there. Sam didn't care for tag team titles, even though from time the AWA would have theirs defended in St. Louis. But per se, the St. Louis Wrestling Club under Sam Muchnick or even under Larry Matisek didn't have tag team titles. So I've kind of kept that tradition alive for 46 years. But, this is 2019. So we're giving it a whirl with a tag team title division here towards the end of the year. And so let's show you the photograph here. We got a still fit picture of the newly crowned SICW Tag Team Champions. And I tell you what, it's been a big buzz all over the area today. The professionals, again, whether you like this group or not, they are a force to be reckoned with. And anytime you get a chance to see the professionals in action, they come to win. And they made that real clear last night. For the first match to crown the champions, they went against a tough team of the Coffin Club.
Yeah.
Talking of Cayman and Vincent, better known as the ambassador for SICW. He tagged up with Cayman, and it was a hard-fought battle as you sat there at ringside and watched. But they came up a little short, and the professionals are the first crowned SICW champions. I congratulate them. I don't always agree with their tactics, but I can tell you there's a lot of other teams out there that are going to be looking after them, and there's going to be other tag teams that want to come to SICW to be able to claim those titles.
Absolutely. And you talk about tag team championship matches. That wasn't the only one on the card last night.
No, it's not. The multi-state tag team titles, Guerrilla Warfare, defended those titles. There you see Big Texan in Waco, another force to be reckoned with. And I can tell you, they've already sent messages out that they're looking at not only the multi-state titles, which they currently hold, they claim that they want those SICW tag titles. Wouldn't that be something? They end up with both of them.
I tell you what, it'd be a good match to see Guerrilla Warfare go against the professionals.
Yeah,
definitely a good solid match. Both great tag teams. The professionals more of a consistent tag team. Guerrilla Warfare kind of similar wrestling styles paired up, and they've defended those multi-state tag titles quite a bit here recently and have come out victorious.
Oh, exactly. And they were victorious last night, defending those multi-state tag titles against Chris Cade and Ray Lewis in a hard-fought battle. I felt sorry for the younger crew, but that's how when you get in this business, you learn, you get in there. But they were excited about getting a shot after those multi-state tag titles. And again, it was a great match. So you're right. Tag matches were on the card last night.
And there was so much more we could talk about last night. We could go on and on. At the end of the day, it was a night to remember.
Yeah, Billy McNeil won over Richard Shaw. That was a good match. Billy's really a popular young man. Got out there, hurt his knee, hyperextended a little bit. I checked today with him, and he's healing up okay. That young man, he just keeps on going. But you're right. Last night was a phenomenal night. One that's going to go down in history books is probably one of the best, especially with that main event. But we have to move on.
Well, and here's the challenge, Herb. September 7th, Holy Family Church, Koki, Illinois, making your second annual trip there. So now you got to outdo what you just did on August 17th.
Well, and that's always hard to do. But what we are doing, last year, our first year in Cahokia, Illinois, we brought in the WWE legend, the Ace Cowboy Bob Orton, who runs our Ace Academy, Wrestling Academy. But this year, as we've been advertising, we're helping them. And there you see we're bringing in the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. It doesn't get much better than that. Take a listen to the words of the $1 Million Man.
Hey, wrestling fans, Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man here. SICW-Wrestling, that's right, Southern Illinois Championship Wrestling is coming to Cahokia, Illinois on Saturday, September the 7th. This will be a fundraiser for Holy Family Church. My late friend Larry Matisek, along with Herb Simmons, worked together for years to try to keep the days of wrestling at the chase alive. Well, Herb Simmons is bringing SICW Wrestling to Cahokia on Saturday, the 7th of September, and yours truly, the $1 Million Man, will be on hand. No, I'm not climbing in the ring to wrestle anymore, but of course, everybody's got a price. But I will be there signing autographs, taking pictures, and just having a good time with all of you wrestling fans. So I hope to see you there, but remember one very important thing. Are you ready? Everybody's got a price for the $1 Million Man. Hope to see you there on September 7th.
Well, if that doesn't go to show the fans that when SICW says that we're bringing somebody to town,
They're coming.
They're coming to town.
And I got to tell you, it was great to see representatives from Holy Family there last night, not only enjoying the action of SICW, but getting that great fan base and letting them know it is going to be a continuation September 7th there in the Holy Family Church.
Well, and the $1 Million Man will be there, and of course he'll be talking about before he became the $1 Million Man. You heard him there on this little promo that he sent to us. He loved St. Louis, he loves Sam Muchnick, he loves Larry Matisek, and each time that Larry and I have brought Ted in, he does a great job. He's really one to want to talk with the fans because, he'll tell you, and he's told me before, St. Louis is what made him what he is today. So I really encourage you to come out and support the Holy Family Church on September the 7th at the Holy Family Gymnasium. It's going to be a great night. It's going to be a great lineup. And come out because it's for a great cause.
Absolutely. Tickets are on sale now. They're going fast. 618-337-4548. Let them know you want to come out and join that night of fun. It's going to start with a meet and greet, correct?
It's going to be a meet and greet at 4 o'clock at the gymnasium there. And then they've got bingo going on that afternoon. So it's going to be kind of rush. The bingo will get over with. Andy and his crew will be there ready to set the ring up. And the Holy Family members will be there setting the chairs up. And then the doors for the wrestling open at 6 o'clock and the bell will start at 7.
Going to be a great night. But Herb, September's a busy month.
September is busy. The rest of this year is busy. We're going to leave the Holy Family fundraiser on the 7th, and then we're going to return to East Rondelet on September the 21st for another great card, and where we'll try to top what we did last night. It's going to be hard to do, but we'll see if the powers to be can do that, and we'll be working on that. And then after September 21st in East Rondelet, we're going to help one of our favorite organizations, the St. Clair Special Emergency Services, on September the 28th, and at one of our favorite venues, the Swansea Fire Department.
I tell you what, this is probably the third or fourth year St. Clair Special Emergency Services has had wrestling in the firehouse. Their tribute to first responders, and I know from years past they're going to bring a great group of fans. The SICW fans are going to be there. You're going to bring a great group of talent, and it is going to be a night to remember.
Well, and that's what I want to do. I want to throw out a challenge to everybody right now that's watching, or everybody who will watch this program. When I sit around, I hear everybody talk about how they respect our first responders and how we should pay tribute to them and how we should thank them. This is one way you come out on September the 28th, because that's what this is. It's a tribute to the St. Clair Special Emergency Services, that group of individuals who, some of them are firemen, some of them are chemists, some of them are technicians, highly trained individuals, volunteers that are at our call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So I challenge you to come out and then tell them that night how much you really appreciate them by showing up there and supporting their fundraiser. That's a great way to show them that. So that's September the 28th. St. Clair Special Emergency Services. 144 Huntwood Road in Swansea, Illinois. Beautiful fire department. They pull the fire trucks out, set the ring up inside, and hopefully we'll pack that place for them and raise some funds for them. So we hope to see you there in Swansea on September the 28th.
Now, Herb, I got a question for you. We do this a lot, but it's kind of fun. What's better than one night in Swansea?
Oh, two.
So maybe it's time to talk about November 2nd,
Yes.
the 6th annual SICW return as a fundraiser for the Swansea Fire Department.
Well, and I think what is important to mention there, the word you use there is return. That's the operative word. We're doing something right when we're going back into these venues 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times, as you just said.
6 times.
So we're helping the Swansea Fire Department on November the 2nd, and there you see it on the screen right there. Not only are we bringing J.J. Dillon, the legend J.J. Dillon, he was there last year.
He was.
Did great, but we got such a good positive feedback, and people said we couldn't make it. Man, we wanted to see the man who held the 4 horsemen together. So he's coming back. But thanks to my good friend Charlie Hartman of Gimmick Tree Entertainments, we said, well, let's add to that. So we reached out and we're bringing in the enforcer, Iron Anderson. Man, we thought we were doing great. J.J. Dillon and Iron Anderson coming to Swansea, Illinois. But Charlie and I said, let's give them something a little bit special. So we reached out and we're going to bring another member of the 4 Horsemen. Barry Windham will be joining J.J. Dillon and Iron Anderson November the 2nd. How does it get any better?
Well, how it gets better, a special meet and greet, and a wrestling seminar.
Yes, wrestling seminar. Barry Windham and J.J. Dillon will be conducting a seminar that afternoon. So I encourage you men who are and women who are getting into the business and been out there, maybe you've been in it or you've been out of it for a little while and you want to dust the rust off of you, you can call 618-286-4848, get all the information. We'll get you all that and be a part of that seminar and put that on your resume that you had the likes of a Barry Windham and J.J. Dillon giving you some pointers on if you're doing things the right way or what you need to do to improve your skills. So, and then come out and join the meet and greet that afternoon and then the SICW action that night.
Gonna be a great night. So, Herb, we've talked about it. You have $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase, J.J. Dillon, Arn Anderson, Barry Windham. Can the year get any better?
I don't know. You tell me.
Well, Saturday, November 16th, East Carondelet Community Center.
How can I forget about the Boogie Woogie Man, Jimmy Valiant? What a guy. I mean, yes, Saturday night, November 16th, the Boogie Woogie Man will be in East Carondelet, Illinois. And he is a great guy, and I'm telling you, for those of you wrestling fans who remember the Boogie Woogie Man, he's not changed a bit. He'll tell you he got a little bit older. He keeps saying that this is his last year. He's kind of like me. This is his last year, and I've been trying to get him into SICW for some time, and we finally got together on a date. So Saturday, November the 16th, he'll be at the East Carondelet Community Center.
This is going to be a year to remember. It just keeps getting better. But let's talk about what it takes to make some of this happen.
Well, we've talked about it, and you've heard me say it's like baking a cake. You got to have all the ingredients to make a great cake. And, of course, we got to start off with a great group of wrestlers. And I say it, and I'll take it to my grave, saying that SICW has had the best of professional wrestlers in the business. And the list can go on and on. We still have the best locker room. The legends that we bring in, it would take me several weeks to list all of them that have come to the SICW and gave the fans what they wanted to see. But then, most importantly, it takes you great fans to support what SICW does. And those two things are the main ingredients, but then we have to have some help from some of the local sponsors. And we go out there and we pull on friends that we know and say, hey, help us out. We're bringing in somebody special. Can you help us defray the cost a little bit? And you get a little advertisement out of it. And we've got some of them on the screen right there tonight. Our good people like Gray Eagle Distributing, who helps us with our posters. Good friend Matt Brown, our sales rep. been making our posters for several years now. Great guy, great people at Grey Eagle Distributors, and we want to thank them. So when you go out and you want to have one of those cold beverages, make sure you're supporting that Anheuser product, the Grey Eagle Distributing.
A longtime supporter
From
of
1959, the Anheuser-Busch
wrestling in St. Louis.
was Wrestling at the Chase, #1 sponsor, and here in 2019 we have Grey Eagle Distributing. Of course, my good friends at Brooks Motor Company in Columbia, Illinois. As I say, if you want a pre-owned, low-mileage vehicle, he'll sell you something. He's got motorcycles, he's got trucks, he's got cars. I've seen him with campers. Bobby Brooks, his father, Charlie, great friends of ours here at SICW. If you're in the need for that pre-owned, great car, I mean, they're the place to go in Columbia, Illinois. Brooks Motor Company. Go down there and tell Bobby that you heard about it here on the SICW Weekly Update, and he'll hook you up with that great vehicle that you won't be sorry. And I guarantee you'll send somebody else to him, and then when you get ready to trade that one in, go back to him, and he'll have something else for you. Brooks Motor Company in Columbia, Illinois. And of course, as we say each week, when you buy that car from Brooks Motor Company, you got to have insurance. That's the law. And our good friend Al Orelt at the Allstate Insurance Company has an office in Belleville and in Cahokia. You need to call Al and his daughter and his wife. It's family owned, family operated. That's what we like. You need to get that insurance on that pre-owned vehicle. Or if you go someplace else and buy one, but I want you to go to Brooks Motor Company and then go to the Allstate Al Orelt, because they will take care of you. Be sure to tell them you heard it right here on the SICW Weekly Update.
Herb, it's been another great Sunday night. The time has flown by. Talked about some great matches last night. We're only a couple weeks away from September 7th, and this year is just gonna be a great time.
We got, I think I figured up today amongst the phone calls, we got 9 matches left for the year, and we'll see what goes on after that. But right now we take them one match at a time, and that's Saturday, September the 7th at the Holy Family Gymnasium. Big fundraiser for the Holy Family Church. Come out, meet WWE legend Ted DiBiase. And until next Sunday night at 8 p.m., everybody have a safe week.